Palisades High School, and I play with the Symphonic Orchestra. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of you for coming out here. I know it's really cold, so I hope that our music really warms you up, you know. A big personal thank you to Mr. Todd for letting me open this show after begging and begging. Remember, this is a grade, no corny jokes. Do not read this corny. Right, okay. Okay. So, coming to the stage first, and accompanied by some of our other orchestra, is our concert orchestra. For some of them, this is their first winter concert in a high school, so let's make sure that we give them a big round of applause. I remember when I was in the concert orchestra, and I was so nervous, and you could definitely hear it around the world. So, you know. Anyway, so then we'll be playing 3 pieces tonight: a Celtic Christmas fantasy, Christmas bits and pieces, and Out of Winter.
Thank you all so much for coming out again. That was a Celtic Christmas fantasy, which, again, a nice little piece to kind of open the concert, get everyone playing, and have some fun. The next one is entitled Christmas Bits and Pieces, and you'll hear all sorts of little Christmas tunes interspersed throughout all of the different instruments and throughout the piece. We hope you enjoy it. So give it a round of applause for the concert orchestra who's currently standing.
Everyone else, stand up.
And a round of applause for all of these students who helped out tonight to make it a bigger scene for them. We will return shortly with the guitar ensemble.
Vamos.
So, you were so good and lovely. Weren't they just so great and awesome? That's all I can say. It's really hard to tell that some of them are like this is their first time. I couldn't even tell. But now on the stage, we have our lovely guitars. They will also be playing 3 pieces titled Joy to the World, A Little Town of Bethlehem, and Winter Was Hard.
So, our guitar ensemble is a special feature. They not blind anyone with my shiny guitar. We are one of the very few schools in Charlotte, and actually in the state of North Carolina, that has a classical guitar program. And we are very happy to have that here. So these students come from all sorts of places. They start usually in the beginning guitar. Some of them jump straight in the intermediate proficient level, and they've been a fantastic group to work with. That was Joy to the World, of course, and you just saw them all get up and move around the stage so that they all had a chance to play some different parts. So they're not just playing a bass part or a melody part or a harmony part. They get to play a little bit of everything, which is a lot of fun for them. So the next piece is the slower piece, so to speak, Oh Little Town of Bethlehem. we have one more piece for the guitar ensemble, which is a special piece, which is entitled Winter Was Hard. This piece is brand new. It was just premiered by the United States National Guitar Orchestra in March of this year. So I think this might be its North Carolina premiere. So a lot of fun with this piece. This piece has four, is that right, four guitar parts? Yes, four guitar parts. So we have, of course, a melody line, harmony lines, two harmony lines, and then a kind of a bass line. Now, the special thing about this one, and all of these pieces, I'm not conducting, I play, which is a different kind of situation for a lot of these students. They have to get used to listening across the group and being prepared to not have someone play now, having those cues and things like that. So the last piece for the guitar ensemble, again, is entitled Winter Was Hard.
really warm. Like, I think it's these spotlights. Like, I feel really warm. But next up, we have my personal favorite, the Symphonic Orchestra. They will be playing A Winter Wonderland, Silent Night, and Rescue Mary, Rocky Berry.
fun with the orchestras this year because we're challenging some of the older groups to work with the younger groups. So, of course, we started off with concert orchestra and had pretty much everyone in the orchestra program playing with the concert orchestra. The symphonic students and the chamber students got that music last week, I think. The chamber students are playing with the symphonic students to help, it's hard to play with a small orchestra. It is a challenge to play with small numbers. Orchestra needs numbers for a good big sound. So we combine them and make some really fun stuff with the different programs when we can put them together. The last piece for the symphonic orchestra is, as Azaria said, Rock Ye Merry, yes, Rest Ye Merry, Rock Ye Very, Rest Ye Merry. That's a mouthful. It's a fun one. Think Trans-Siberian Orchestra kind of sound. So here we go with their final piece.
I'm not literally speechless because we have two other groups and I have a lot more to say. So now we have our beautiful, beautiful chamber orchestra. They will be playing a Bavarian Rhapsody, Fezziwig's Festive, Frolic, and Snow Falling in Autumn.
Look at all my little reindeer.
welcome Isabella Orchestra and Marcus Isaacson. Give them another round of applause. So we have to have a little fun with the chamber class. These kids have been with me through thick and thin, through it all. They all started a long time ago when we opened this school, and here we are today, making a lot of fun memories and a lot of fun things. So 2 nights ago, we went to Camp Thunderbird, just down the road in York, and performed for their Christmas tree lighting, which was a lot of fun. The kids got a picture with Santa. We got to write letters and had a grand old time. It was a lot of fun for the kids. And we get to do those kind of fun things in the older classes, because we can learn music really quickly, and then we can go have some fun with it. So, the next piece, again, is Fezziwig's Festive, Frolic. That's another mouthful. So again, mostly Christmas tunes that you're going to recognize. We hope you enjoy. So, again, we played some fun things, and then this last piece for the chamber orchestra is a piece that I found a few years ago, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's a newer composition again by Chris Pilsner, who's an orchestra director in Colorado. And in Colorado, they get snow in autumn, and November, and December, and they get snow all the time. So he wrote this piece with this feeling of having this fresh fallen snow in early autumn, the quiet that you get, the sense of this building into winter. And then he also wrote it for his students. It was a goodbye, because this was the last piece that he wrote before he left teaching to go into full-time composition. Now, I'm not going anywhere, don't worry. We're staying here. But this piece means a lot to me because it's that chance to showcase all of these amazing things that a snow falling in autumn can bring about. so give them another round of applause.
Okay, so now we have all of our orchestra, and joining us is some of our Palisades band in the background for our entire, little orchestra. It looks so cute. So we hope that you recognize the certain things that we are about to play.
Thank you all so much. It is a pleasure to have a full symphony here at Palisades High School to be able to do these amazing works, and these fun works, to be honest. Before we move on into our final piece of the night, I want to recognize a few people who have made this whole journey an amazing process and everything that these students up here have done. So first off, I want to recognize the students that auditioned and got into our CMS Honors Orchestra, our county level orchestra. So if you auditioned and were accepted into CMS Honors Orchestra, please stand up. So these students worked extremely hard this year to prepare some very, very difficult solos, and then go to an audition in the middle of November and just work their tail off to get into this. And they're preparing to do the same thing in January, right around finals. to get into our district level or our region level for North Carolina. So the next set of students that I really want to recognize are the ones that have been with us through this entire process. They started here, they grew with us through all the trials and tribulations, through waiting for our basses to arrive in the very first year and not getting our final bass until the end of the second year of being in operation. So, seniors, please stand up. Symphony stuff without the support of our amazing wind and percussion players who have to do this concert and then 2 nights from now have to do another concert. The strings get some time off, but the wind players, they've got a lot of work to do. So can we, all the band members, please stand up so everyone can see you. So we don't get to put together the symphony too much. It's an after-school rehearsal during homeroom time, so it's difficult to get all the students together. So we really appreciate all the work that all of these students have put into this, whether they're in a string class or in a band class. They've put together so much stuff, and we're so excited. Our final piece for you tonight with the symphony is a favorite, and I thank you.